What's up everybody, Jared here with carbuzz.com, and today I am bringing you a review of the 2022 Nissan Sentra. It's been about 2 years since the last time I drove the latest generation Sentra. They haven't done too much to change the recipe here, but they have added a few styling touches that I'm going to touch upon in a little bit, and we are going to look at the interior once again. They have sent me an SR trim that is the most loaded version of the Sentra with something called the SR Premium package. So this is quite a feature-packed little compact car. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So for starters, we've got this white paint job. I'm gonna zoom in on it a little bit because it does have some nice pearl to it. I'm usually not a big fan of white, but this pearl is quite a nice finish as well. We have something called the Midnight package. So Nissan has been doing these midnight vehicles for a while. Basically, it's like a black accent package. You're gonna get these very sporty 5-spoke black wheels. They're 18 inches. They look really cool, actually. I gotta say, they're very nice wheels. You also get black mirror caps, and you get a little bit of black accenting up here in the front as well. This black roof is actually not part of the midnight package. You can do that without getting the midnight package. So if you want a two-tone exterior, it kind of just depends on what color you get. I believe you can get it with the orange as well, which I think is quite a nice combination. But done up how this is, this sort of panda color with the black wheels and the black roof, very good looking design, I would like to say. You also get premium LED projector headlights, which is quite nice. That's part of the SR Premium package that I'll talk about a little bit later. I would say that the design of this is sort of baby Altima in a good way. It looks very similar to the Altima. It's not a bad looking car at all. It's one of the more attractive cars in this compact segment. Nothing too crazy here at the back. We do have a single exhaust port down here. We also have a little spoiler, nothing too crazy here on this SR model. The SR is trying to be a little sporty, but this is not a Nismo, this is not an SER like those old performance Sentras of yore. We've got a decently sized trunk in here, pretty deep, very large opening as well, so pretty easy to get large bags in here. I had no problem taking my mother to the airport last weekend in this car. Her suitcase fit just fine. We do have these exposed hinges though that are going to eat into the trunk space just a little bit, and you can fold the seats into the back here so you can get some larger items as well. I'll just go ahead and show you the split fold there. By dropping down this seat, you can obviously drop down the 60 portion of that as well. We do have a Primatex leather seating in here as part of the SR Premium package. So that's what you're going to be seeing here. I can go ahead and show you how much legroom I have. Pretty decent here. My knees are not touching. I'm about 5'8" sitting in the back of this vehicle. So just to let you know, that is set to where I would drive as well. No air vents back here, but we do have one single USB port for your passengers to charge up their devices, which is not bad. And I do want to mention these seats, supremely comfortable. They are very, very, very cushy. Very pillowy. It's part of Nissan's zero gravity technology. Just these are some of the most comfortable back seats I think you'll find in the compact segment, just in terms of like the seat cushion comfort, not necessarily in terms of legroom. We do have keyless entry here on this model with this little button. You can go ahead and click to lock or click again to unlock with the key fob in your pocket. I do also want to note that on the key fob, you do get remote start, which is quite nice. That is something really nice on a very hot or very cold day. Since this is a more affordable car, I want to focus a lot on the features that you get here for the money, because that is really the story here on the Sentra. Features for the money. So we've got a very nice looking driver seat on this SR trim. We've got this little orange strip here with some orange stitching. You can also get quilted on the SV. I actually like how the quilted looks a little bit better than this kind of orange sporty motif, but that's really just my personal preference. We've got a power driver seat, 6-way, no crazy amounts of adjustment, but we do have lumbar as well here as part of the SR Premium package, which is optional on top top of the SR trim. We also have an 8-speaker Bose system that sounds pretty good for this price range. I'm usually not a big fan of Bose, but at this price range, it's not bad at all. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the door because it is hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and push the push button start. We're gonna go ahead and start it up. We've got this quite cool looking flat bottom steering wheel on the SR with orange stitching on the inside. Again, this is the SR trim is trying to be just a little bit sportier than the average Sentra, you know, trying to look rather cool. We also have this kind of, you know, it's obviously not real at this price range, carbon fiber trim here on the door. We do have a automatic up and down power window here. The rest are just regular power windows. We've got very simple gauge cluster. We've got our tachometer on the left, speedometer on the right, with a little screen where you can have your fuel economy, trip information, audio information there as well. We do have adaptive cruise control, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. We've got our different audio controls over here, voice command. We do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard, but you do have to plug in. They are not wireless on this car. Over here to the left, we've got an eco button. I'll talk a little bit about that later. We've just got some controls for the gauge lights, and then that is the trunk release button as well. So we'll go ahead and focus on the infotainment system. It's an 8-inch touchscreen. Sorry, I felt like I had to sneeze there, which is pretty easy to use. You can kind of choose what is on these menus with like clocks and different shortcuts and things like that. But I find that it's not the easiest to use. It's just fine. And this screen does get hit with like a good amount of glare. You can kind of see my fingers wiggling in the background, which is a little bit annoying. I wish Nissan would kind of do something about that. They've probably had to use the same screen supplier for a few years now. I'm hoping that that eventually sorts itself out. But we do have nice volume knob and a tuning knob on the other side. So again, super easy to use. I like that they have lots of physical controls. Also some shortcut menus down here that are mimicked here on the screen. And I love this sort of almost Audi style 3 air vent design here that are very adjustable. You can point them in so many different directions and they just look nice, all 3 of them sitting circular there. I do see that as kind of like an Audi-esque design. And then below that, we've got our dual zone automatic climate control. That is very nice for a vehicle of this price. Heated seats, heated steering wheel as well as part of that SR premium package. Again, quite a nice touch. And I do want to mention that on this screen, as part of that SR premium package, if I throw it in reverse, you don't just get a backup camera, you get a 360-degree camera. It is by far not the most high resolution version of this type of technology that I have seen, but at this price, what are you really expecting? We have a very conventional shifter, just pull it all the way back, PRND, and then we do have a low gear range. I'm not really sure what use that would be. And then we do have this little button here. It is hidden. It is unlabeled. That is sort of like a pseudo sport mode. We do have a little bit of storage ahead of that shifter that you can use with a USB and a USB-C plus an aux jack and our normal 12 volt. We've got some more orange stitching here on the dash, and we do have a sunroof as part of the SR premium package. So that is pretty much everything you need to know about the interior of the Sentra. So let's go ahead and get it out on the road. All right, so now it's time to drive the 2022 Sentra. And not much has changed since this new generation Sentra came out a few years ago and I last drove it. There's still only one engine option. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, nothing super special there. It produces 149 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. There's only one way to get it with a CVT, a continuously variable transmission, sending power out to the front wheels. There's no hybrid option, there's no turbo option, there's no manual option, and there's no all-wheel drive option. Just one way of buying the Sentra. And that is going to be fine for most people. I think most people in this price range, in this category, are really just looking for a simple means of transportation, and they don't really want anything super fancy or sporty. Now, that being said, I am hearing some rumors, and these are just rumors at this point, that Nissan might stick the turbocharged 3-cylinder, the VC, variable compression turbo engine that went in the Rogue in the Sentra. Now that could be quite lively because I believe that engine makes like 180, or anywhere from like 180 to 200 horsepower. So that could be quite nice in a light little car like this. Now that is just a rumor, but if it does end up happening, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Now, the engine that we do have is pretty efficient. In the S and SV trims, you're going to be getting 29 mpg in the city, 39 mpg on the highway, and around 33 mpg combined. Those numbers are going to go down a little bit if you get this SV trim. I think that's mainly because of the larger wheels. To 28 mpg in the city, 37 on the highway, and 32 combined. And I have been averaging 31.9, so pretty darn close to what the EPA says you're going to get there. So this is a pretty efficient little car. In terms of how it drives, it's not bad, honestly. I really do like the changes that they've made on this latest generation Sentra. We've got independent rear suspension, we've got McPherson front struts, we've got steering that is not like the most precise in this class. I do think that the Civic and Corolla are slightly more communicative and a little bit more fun to drive, but I definitely am not feeling like dead through the steering wheel. This thing has a little bit of enjoyment to it. It's definitely light on the steering, but as I'm taking these corners here, I do feel confidence in the steering. I do feel confidence in the chassis as well. We've got, as I mentioned, some pretty nice suspension for an affordable little car like this. The ride is good. And yeah, you can have like a little bit of fun in this car. Not like an insane amount of fun. This is still a CVT car after all. But yeah, not bad. I mentioned those drive modes as we were walking around the car. You've got the eco mode, which is going to draw back the throttle response just a little bit. You've got your hidden sport mode. You go ahead and push that, and the CVT is going to be a little bit more willing to hold gears. I do like how the CVT kind of feels like it's actually shifting gears like a transmission. I know some people are not the biggest fans of that, but it kind of eliminates that CVT groaning where you floor it and it just pins at like a max RPM, and then you basically just hear as the vehicle accelerates like old CVTs were wont to do. This one doesn't really do that. So if I just come to a stop here, I have it in sport mode, not that it's going to make a huge difference here, and I just floor it, we're going to hear, there's a shift. So, you know, you can definitely tell at full throttle that it doesn't feel like a geared transmission. You hear it go. So, not the best. But honestly, who's really going foot to the floor in their Sentra? If you drive this car normally, the transmission fake shifts feel a lot more real. So I wouldn't really worry too much about that if you're the type of person who's normally buying a car like this. Now, in terms of safety tech, we've got Nissan Safety Shield 360. That's going to include a lot of good stuff. As standard, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warning, high beam assist, and automatic rear braking, all standard. We've got a few other things because we've got the SR premium package. So we do have things like adaptive cruise control. We've got that 360-degree camera. The adaptive cruise control I like. It is quite nice. The problem with it is it will bring you down to a stop and then it'll go beep because it can't hold it for too long. So you can't use it in super slow stop and go traffic, which is a little bit annoying. But to sum it up, this is a decently fun vehicle to drive. It's relatively efficient. It's very comfortable. It's not too loud on the highway. And for the price, that's really all you can ask for. All right, so that was the 2022 Nissan Sentra. I mentioned that this was a really nice car at the price, but what is that price? Let's go ahead and break it down. The base S trim, I mentioned there's only one way to get a Sentra, one engine, one transmission, one drivetrain for $19,810 for that S trim. If you want to step up to the mid-level SV, that's going to cost you $20,870, and this top SR trim is $22,400, but it does not stop there with the SR. You are going to have to add some things to that. If you want the midnight package with these 18-inch black wheels, you get the black mirror caps, giving a more sporty, aggressive look. That's going to be a $700 charge, $695 to be exact. There is also a quite hefty SR premium package for $2,470, but you get a lot of stuff with that. You get LED projector headlights with LED running lights, the glass moonroof, heated steering wheel, heated front seats, Primatex appointed seats in the front and back, a 6-way power driver seat, 8-speaker Bose audio system, the surround view monitor, a Wi-Fi hotspot, and illuminated vanity mirrors. All in with both of those packages, you're going to be looking to spend about $26,000 on the Sentra. I think I might skip that midnight edition package, keeping this car at about 25 grand. I think that is the sweet spot for all of the technology that you're going to be getting in this car. The Sentra is a nice value as it sits. I just wouldn't go fully loaded on it, but you do have a lot of other competitors in this segment. You've got the Corolla, you've got the Mazda 3, you've got the Honda Civic. Those can all be more powerful than the Sentra, but they can also get a lot pricier as well. So if you are looking for just very simple transportation with quite a lot of features, the Sentra is a pretty decent option. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the 2022 Nissan Sentra. For more videos like it, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And if you want to read more about the 2022 Nissan Sentra, be sure to check out carbuzz.com. I'll see you next time.